You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Radio Show, only on Financial News and Talk. Now live in studio, your host, local and national real estate expert and consumer advocate, Ron Siegel.
And hello again. Welcome to Ron Siegel Radio. This is the show with no real boundaries as we discuss current events, financial markets, politics, sports, even poking fun at the rest of the media. This is the show that connects the dots of confusion, delivered by conflicting media reports. We connect the dots so you know the actions you can take, how your family or business can benefit from current events. Most of all, thank you for joining me. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day. We have a very focused show. We only chat about items that affect the roof over your head, your bank account, and anything I feel would benefit you. But before we get into our intriguing content today, please join me in welcoming our featured guest, repeat offender on Ron Siegel Radio, Joelie Piccolini, Berkshire Hathaway. Welcome.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning. Glad to have you with us. Let me remind you, if you ever have any home or finance-related questions, I am the consumer advocate looking out for you. And you can reach out to me directly, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or ronsiegelradio.com. Just remember that's the number you call anytime for assistance. When you call that number, it comes directly to me first. There are operators standing by.
Quiet, numbskulls, I'm broadcasting.
While I do have a great team when it comes to developing a financing plan or plan to save you money, I personally work with you. Even if you don't have any needs today, save this number in your phone for future reference. 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. And yes, we're celebrating today. We celebrate every day on Ron Siegel Radio. I don't know. I don't know if I want to even do this one, but I'm going to. You know, I'll get myself in trouble. I'm good at it. National Balloon Ascension Day. It did not say whether it was a Chinese spy balloon or not, but it just says National Balloon Ascension Day. Well, okay. Shop for Travel Day. Okay, I'll do this one too. So, Shop for Travel. I don't believe they're talking about Boeing 737 MAX 9. I don't think that's what they're talking about. Now, I have a convertible. I like it from the roof going down, not the side doors going out. Thankfully, we can joke about this being that nobody got hurt. Although I guess there is some PTSD going on, and that is a shame. I saw that, was it Alaska Airlines? They're giving everybody their money back. Surprise, surprise. And $1,500. Now, my guess is there may be some lawsuits out there, but I don't know what kind of an iPhone case that was. Did you see that iPhone? 16,000 feet it dropped. And what was there was a battery, wasn't it? Was it Ever Ready? It takes a licking and keeps on ticking. Was that their motto way back when? National Apricot Day. Okay, I like apricots. My in-laws used to have an apricot tree. I like those. And there's a little tiny cafe in Los Osos. If you've ever been to Los Osos, California, little tiny cafe on the road going out to Montaña de Oro, and they make the best apricot jelly. I'm going to go there this weekend just to get some jelly because today's National Apricot Day. And the one that we will not forget to mention, National Law Enforcement Appreciation Day. Now, I might be a little old-fashioned. Maybe I'm a lot old. But I would say, shouldn't every day be National Law Enforcement Appreciation Day? We love our law enforcement officers. And I will throw out there just a selfless plug. Our lending team is the #1 lending team in America for Homes for Heroes. So that's for our military men and women, law enforcement, fire, all the first responders, EMTs, nurses, and teachers. So if you fall into any one of those categories, we've got a program for you. I guess let's take a look and see what's going on with the markets this morning. They were not looking good when I left the office earlier, when I left to get ready to come to the studio. Dow Jones is now down 172 points. The S&P 500 is down 5.5. NASDAQ is down 19.95. And oil is up $1.95 a barrel. Okay, well, I guess Joe might have slept long enough not to fill the strategic petroleum reserves when it was cheaper. But we'll see what happens with that. Gasoline prices, $4.67 here in the formerly Golden State. Have you noticed that there is not the demand, even with gas prices where they are, demand for the electric vehicles? It's not quite what it's all cracked up to be. I do laugh when I see people that'll go out and they'll spend $50,000, $60,000, $70,000 for a Tesla so that they don't have to spend $3 or $4 on a gallon of gasoline. Just coming at this from that standpoint, does that make sense to anybody? And right now, there may be some electric vehicle owners who might be a little bit more upset. Why? Well, we're in California. We're not used to cold weather. And your battery doesn't get the same charge as it got when the weather's colder. The battery drains quicker. You probably didn't notice that, but it does drain quicker when it's colder. So we're going to be watching all of that. At least, hopefully, we've only got another year to deal with some of this craziness. Yes, I want the environment to be clean. I don't want to have dirty air, dirty water, and all the pollutants out there. I'm not for all that. But government mandate, not the right way of getting any of these things done. Just throw that out there for you. Let's see what else is going on in the world. Did you see? This one's not good. The best news in the world. Bill Gross. And if you're not familiar with Bill Gross, he's probably one of the smartest people in the world when it comes to bonds. He used to run the largest bond fund in the world over at PIMCO. I think he left PIMCO and went to Allianz. But he's saying that bond prices are too high. What does that mean? Well, when he says bond prices are too high, that means interest is too low. And he deals with high quality bonds. So he went in and placed a big bet, not gambling bet, but he ended up going in and buying a lot of bonds last year. And when the price went up, yields came down at the end of the last quarter last year, he made a boatload of money. Well, now he's getting out of those positions and going into other things, saying that the bond prices are too high, which means the interest rates should go higher. When the bond price goes down, interest goes up. So Bill Gross, one of the smartest guys there is in bonds, is really saying right now, be careful of bonds, rates are going up. Do I believe it? Well, Bill Gross runs $1 trillion. I don't. So when Bill Gross speaks, we should listen. Chapman University, their numbers came out that they thought that mortgage rates were going to be in the 7s by the end of the year, travel the 7s most of the year. They do a pretty good job. They didn't last year, but nobody did. Nobody could forecast the amount of government spending we had last year. That's where the issues came up. So we're watching all of those different issues. Now, I did just get from one of our forecasters yesterday, his forecast. Over the weekend, I saw his forecast. He's looking at rates high 5s. I like his number better, but we don't get to choose what we like better. That's the whole issue. You're listening to Ron Siegel Radio, discussing your real estate, current events, and the financial markets. When we come back, are you thinking about selling a house, but it needs a little bit of work to maximize the sales price? We're going to talk about that. Ways your home equity can help you reach your goals. How a New Year's spending fast can help you get back on track financially. You know, I saw this article and I was a little nervous because having beaten anorexia, anything that has to do with fast makes me nervous. I'm just going to throw that out there. You can reach me anytime. Our off-air number, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or RonSiegelRadio.com. Facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio. And if you miss any part of our broadcast, Ron Siegel 1 on YouTube. Ron Siegel, the number 1 on YouTube. Stay tuned. We will be back in just a few.
Ron Siegel Radio. Your home and mortgage connection.
Hey there, friends. Wondering if now is the right time to buy a home? Or are you waiting for a bunch of foreclosures? The facts speak loud and clear. Defaults and foreclosures are down. Sure, we might be headed towards a recession. But did you know interest rates typically drop and real estate values often go up during a recession? So what are you waiting for? Higher prices or higher payments? Don't navigate these waters alone. Connect with RonSiegelRadio.com today. That's RonSiegelRadio.com.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. The Mortgage Minute today being brought to you by our friends at Geneva Financial. When you're ready for that next home loan, Geneva's got the programs and the products. You just need to make the call, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. Let's see what's going on in the mortgage world this morning. Hey, don't forget, there's a lot of folks out there looking at home equity lines of credit. The Home Select program that Geneva has, rsrhomeselect.com. As I mentioned, effective APR yesterday or last week when I ran a scenario, effective APR 2.006. Effective APR. And every day at this time, OB, MMI, they provide the most comprehensive, accurate, timely, and interactive analysis of pricing ever conducted in the mortgage industry, calculated from actual locked rates. They don't tell us points paid, points received, or APR. They just have locked rates with consumers across 42% of all mortgage transactions nationwide. 30-year loans yesterday locked down 6.669. 30-year jumbo loans, they were up a little bit, 7.282. FHA loans, 6.474. Those were down a bit. 30-year USDA loans, that's the rural areas, generally no down payment, 6.461, down. 2 days in a row, Josh, we're seeing this. The best loan on the market for our veterans, 30-year VA loan. You can't just apply for this one. You have to really qualify. That means veterans, 6.215. Good rate for a 30-year fixed rate loan, 6.215. Love our veterans, love being able to do this for them. If you want our market commentary, we put that out as early as we can every day, every business day. It's a data dependence, just like the Fed says. So as soon as we get all the data that we need for the report, we put it out. You can get it for free, rsrmarketminute.com, rsrmarketminute.com. Let's take a look and see what's going on in the world right now. We gave you yesterday's data. So the data for today, the S&P 500 is now down 4.74. The 10-year Treasury up 1 basis point. I guess Bill Gross was right, but it's not that much, so don't worry about it. The mortgage-backed security is down 6 basis points. The bond is down. That means rates are up just a little bit. So what's driving all of this? That's what you turn to us for. And we're looking at the NFIB. That's the National Federation of Small Business Federation. I forgot the exact name of it, or the whole bit. But Fed governors, let's see what they had to say. It's a small business optimism index, is what they put out. Rose to 91.9 from 90.6. Employers' plans to hire fell 2 points to the lowest since June. Plans to increase inventory fell 2 points to -5%, lowest since April. Fed governor comments out there. Voting member Michelle Baumann spoke yesterday on the Fed's monetary policy and changed her tone on inflation. Remember, she was one of the most hawkish members, calling for multiple additional rate hikes not too long ago. Baumann said that her view on inflation has evolved. Love that term, evolved. Can't say changed, but evolved. And acknowledged that the inflation data over the past 6 months indicate that the Fed's actions are bringing inflation lower. Does that surprise anybody?
Surprise, surprise, surprise.
She now believes that the Fed will hit their 2% target over time, and it will eventually be appropriate to start cutting rates so the Fed is not overly restrictive. Atlanta Fed President Bostic also spoke and said that inflation has come down more than expected, but it's too early to declare victory. Thank goodness he's not a voting member. This is a change, and certainly more optimistic. And we'll see about their optimism on Thursday when we get the CPI report. We'll see what happens with that one, but we will be watching. You're listening. That's the Mortgage Minute, brought to you by our friends at Geneva Financial. When you're ready for that next home loan, Geneva's got the programs and the products. You just need to make the call, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. Let's chat real estate. It's early in the year. We're going to chat our first real estate guest. Well, maybe we did some last week. I don't remember. Joelie Piccolini is with us. Berkshire Hathaway, welcome.
Well, thank you for having me again.
So I'm glad you're here. We got new stuff to chat about.
I'm so excited. Yes,
So-
we do.
Listings, people going out doing listings, and they've got a house, and I've known of this program that you mentioned. It's called Revive.
Mhm.
And I've known about the program, and they do a great job from what I've seen. I don't know all the details of it.
It's really amazing. They basically, if you're a listing agent and you go on an appointment and you see the home needs, work, updating, you can offer to make the seller the benefactor of being a flip person. So they come in and they give them the money. They come in rehab, stage
Okay,
it.
wait a second, Jolie. I got a problem here
Yes.
because not everybody knows what a flip person is,
Oh.
and at my size, I don't do flips. Yeah, that's problematic.
So they're going to come in and rehab it. So
I'm
a
flustered
flip,
here
a-
when I
I know what
This
and
mental
it's
image
so-
of this old bald fat guy doing a flip.
It kind of threw me off. I was thinking of you doing a flip off a diving board. I don't know why, but no,
I don't even do a flip off of a diving board, and I used to be a swimmer.
really. So a flip is when you go and you say you're looking at homes and something's turnkey and you can tell someone's came in and rehabbed it. Basically, that's a flip. So an investor comes in and flips a home and then sells it for more. So what's happening with Revive is that they come in and they give them the money, the seller, to do the same thing. And then at the close of escrow, they pay for, all the rehab through there, which is nice.
Sure. So Revive is putting up the money.
Revive.
Or actually, they're doing that. They actually have the relationship with the contractors
Correct.
to do the work.
Correct. So you have to use their contractors, and you also have to use a Revive agent now. So
Okay, so that's something new.
something totally new, because they're going to go national broadcasting in February, radio and TV. So they're going to tell the consumer, this is what we have, a product for you, because most buyers come in and they want a home that is turnkey.
And they're going to look at the program, the property, from what I understand.
Yes, they look at the property and they actually
They'll do an assessment.
they're going to do an assessment, and then they're going to they have you take a picture of each room now, and you're going to upload it to a system, and they pretty much can give you back numbers right away.
Wow.
Yeah, it's in a beta form right now, but in the next 2 months it's going to come out. So if I'm going in and going on a listing appointment, I can take a picture of each room, upload it, and then they're going to get the comps from the area and decide, if it's worth it, because they're not going to come in and just do it for every property. It has to make sense for them, and you have to have enough equity for them to come and do it.
Well, now, I would assume, again, we didn't, sometimes assuming can be problematic, but they're gonna want to do the work that's gonna have a positive multiplier.
Correct. And not every area is a candidate for it.
Right.
You
So, I might look at my house and say, okay, I think that I need to put improve the second bathroom upstairs,
Right.
which may not bring any extra value to the property.
Correct.
They're not going to
that's-
want to do that.
No, they're going to come in, they're really going to assess it, and then they sit down with you. It's a whole process, but it's worth it. They get them done within 90 days or less if you meet their criteria.
And I would assume also that they're looking at something similar to what you would be doing as a listing agent,
Mhm.
experienced listing agent, is that, okay, front doors bring back a good multiplier of value.
Right.
Kitchens bring back a multiplier of value. What I mean by a
Correct.
multiplier of value, that you spend $1, you might get $1.50 back.
Mhm.
Don't use the exact number because I don't know what it is.
Right.
But, front doors bring value. Kitchens bring value.
Bathrooms do too, but kitchens are a big one.
Right.
Yeah.
Bathrooms do, but I'm not sure the
Not
second
just-
bathroom upstairs.
Not just one.
Right?
You have to kind of do all of them.
Well,
Yeah.
but a master bathroom might bring more money than
Correct.
and they know those things, and that's what you're really looking for.
Mhm.
So if you're ended up going and being able to spend hypothetical, and I don't know what
Mhm.
the numbers are, $10,000, and you as the listing agent say, okay, now we can list it for an extra 15.
Yeah.
That's valuable to everybody.
It's very valuable to everyone. And, the downside of it is, though, they do have to move out while they're doing this, but they are
okay, so
giving-
that's new.
yes, but they are giving them 15,000 to move out, because I think they really want to turn it around quickly.
Yeah. So the question then becomes, how do you do that?
Yeah. When I used them a year ago, my clients didn't have to move out.
Right.
So it
That
was a
when
little
they
easier.
so they came on the broadcast
Mhm.
with us a couple years back, and the clients didn't have to move out either because who can
Right.
afford to keep this property
And then move.
and move?
And then where are you going to move for, say, 3 months, really?
Well, I'm going to answer that question because it just dawned on me. Our friends over at Geneva Financial, they've got the transition loan.
Perfect. There you
So
go.
they'll actually give you a loan based on the equity of your departing property. And, you have to qualify. It's not really that difficult of a
Mhm.
qualification, but you take the value of the acquisition, the value of the departing, multiply times 0.65, subtract the existing liens,
Mhm.
and that's what they'll give you. So you can actually buy that new property
So there you go.
and move, and then you've got the old one. Now, let me ask you this from the standpoint
Mhm.
of you being a listing agent.
Mhm.
If I move out, is that going to detract from the property, being that it's going to, or do you have to spend more money for staging then?
Well, you're going to have to spend money for staging, and they really do suggest that with Revive, and they do have someone comes in and stages for you.
Surprise, surprise! They'll
They do everything
for a
They
fee.
do everything. Yeah, exactly, for a fee. Well, it is a fee, but it does make a difference.
Well, it used to be, and again, I'm sure that they've made the program better, not worse. But it used to be that because of their volume,
Mhm.
that even though the contractor, they were their contractors that were paying
Right.
them,
Right.
they got some better pricing, and actually they got contractors that
Mhm.
were committed to getting the work done in a timely manner.
Yeah, and they do. And that's, it's true because the contractors are getting a bunch of properties from them. Right now, I can't say who it is, but it's a big celebrity is using it, which still kind of threw me off why a celebrity would use this. But they're doing, they're putting up $1 million for the rehab for this
Wow.
person. Yes,
Well, they're probably doing that because they're going to get
they're probably going to get a
an
lot. Yeah,
endorsement down the road.
probably. Exactly.
Just throw
Yeah,
that out
exactly,
there for
probably.
you.
Right.
So that doesn't surprise me from that standpoint that that's what they might be doing.
It probably, especially since they're going to go national, and get out there.
Well, it's a great program.
Mhm.
I don't know about it's going to certainly it'll use a lot of money. So
It's going to.
they'll end up being probably more selective on who they'll work with.
I think so too. I think what they're trying to do too is when they do have the consumer call in, they are going to, point them to a Revive agent because we know the process, and I think they are going to try to make it more select that way. You just can't call in and go, "Hey, I want the money for my house," because there has been times too where people have taken the money and then we're like, "Oh, we love our house, we don't want to move out."
Ah, okay. So
Yes.
that's an interesting twist.
Right.
Yeah,
Because
the
that
house
could happen.
became nicer now,
Right. But
and maybe they couldn't find an acquisition property.
right now, as our inventory is very low, that's going to be difficult, I think.
Well, we're going to talk about that when we come back. Low inventory. We'll talk with Joelie about that when we come back. We'll also talk about ways your home equity can help you reach your goals and how a New Year's spending fast can help you get back on track financially. All that and more. Reach me anytime. Off-air number 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or RonSiegelRadio.com, Facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio. And if you miss any part of our broadcast, Ron Siegel 1 on YouTube. Ron Siegel, the number 1 on YouTube. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
Ron Siegel Radio. Your home and mortgage connection.
79% of all credit reports have errors that should be corrected through factual disputing. You could be saving thousands every year if your report was accurate. CreditSanitizer.com provides a free credit report audit when you furnish a specific $1 credit report. You can use this information to request corrections to your report and potentially save thousands of dollars. Get your free credit audit at CreditSanitizer.com. That's CreditSanitizer.com for a free credit report audit. CreditSanitizer.com.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That's my message, and I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. The real-time real estate segment today being brought to you by rsrmoney.com, rsrmoney.com. Ways your home equity can help you reach your goals. If you've owned your house for at least a couple of years, there's something you're going to want to know about, and that's home equity. If you're not familiar with that term, Freddie Mac defines it like this, quote, your home's equity is the difference between how much your home is worth and how much you owe on the mortgage, unquote. That means your equity grows as you pay down your home loan over time and as home values climb. While it's true, home prices dipped slightly at the end of last year, they rebounded and have been climbing in many areas since then. Here's why that price growth is good news. In the latest Equity Insights report, Selma Happ, chief economist at CoreLogic, explains, quote, with price gains continuing to help homeowners build wealth, equity has reached a new high and regained losses that resulted from declines last year. And while the average U.S. homeowner gained over $20,000 in additional equity compared with the third quarter of 2022, some markets are seeing larger increases as price growth catches up, unquote. Is it Monday? And that figure is just for the last year. To help you really understand how that number can add up over time, the report also says the average homeowner with a mortgage has more than $300,000 in equity. That much equity can have a big impact. Here are a few examples of how you can put your home equity to work for you. Number one, buy a home that fits your needs. If your current space no longer meets your needs, it might be time to think about moving to a bigger home. And if you've got too much space, downsizing to a smaller one, I call it right sizing to a smaller one, might be just right. Either way, you can put your equity toward a down payment on something that fits your challenging lifestyle. Maybe you want to put your equity toward a lower interest rate so that you're in the 4s and not the 5s or 6s where they are right now. Number two, reinvest in your current home. And if you're not ready to move just yet, you can use the equity you have to improve your current home. But it's important to consider the long-term benefits certain upgrades can bring to your home's value. A real estate agent is a great resource on which projects to prioritize to get the greatest return on your investment when you sell later on. Number three, pursue personal ambitions. Home equity can also serve as a catalyst for realizing your lifelong dreams. That could mean investing in a new business venture, retirement, or funding an education. While you shouldn't use your equity for unnecessary spending, using it responsibly for something meaningful and impactful can really make a difference in your life. Notice I did not say go buy a new car or a new boat. Those are not good uses of home equity. Number four, you may enjoy them, but the bottom line is that 2007-06, we used our home equity as an ATM, and it didn't turn out so well for a lot of people. Number four, understand your options to avoid foreclosure. While the number of foreclosure filings remains below the norm, there are still some homeowners who go into foreclosure each year. If you're in a tough spot financially, having a clear understanding of your options can help. Equity can act as a cushion if you're not able to make your mortgage payments on time. Bottom line, if you want to know how much equity you have on your home, give me a call. 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. Remember, the valuation models that are out there tell you historically what your home is worth. You must talk to a real estate professional if you want to look forward, because they know what's going on in the marketplace in your area. I give you national numbers all the time. Those are not good for your street, your block. Just throw that out there. The real estate professionals know that. And yes, I do have a real estate license, but like probably your best friend's dog walker's brother, I'm not qualified to give you real estate advice. I've had the license 9 years. It means absolutely nothing. I needed it for lending. I understand that. You want to know about real estate values? Give me a call, because I know Jolie's number and I'll put you in touch with her and she can help you with that part. That is the Real-Time Real Estate segment, brought to you by rsrmoney.com, rsrmoney.com. Continue our conversation. We're talking with Joelie Piccolini. She's with Berkshire Hathaway. We were talking before about improving home improvement to maximize the sale price of your property. And I mentioned in the report, the Real-Time Real Estate segment, that we're still looking at interest rates 6.6. But what if we could drop that 1.5 points, maybe to be at 5, high 4s? Would that make more sense for you to sell a property? Joelie, is there any inventory out there right now to sell?
No,
That, and
there's not. I mean, I looked. Okay, so we were talking earlier.
right.
Last night I pulled up all of Orange County just for single family active is only 1,171. That's all of Orange County.
1,000.
171.
I almost fell off my chair when you
No,
told me
I
that
know.
before the show.
Because when I talked to you in November, it was higher.
Well, historically, from what I've been told, the number for Orange County is usually there's about 6,000 single family homes available for sale.
There's none. It's crazy.
And, yeah, about the time that you were in Latwii in November.
November.
I think there was about 2,200 back then.
I was shocked when I pulled
And
it
half
up.
now.
I was shocked, and then there was only beginning of the year. So what are we on? What's the date?
9th.
9th. Okay,
As
so,
we record, or we don't know when you're listening, but we're recording on the 9th.
okay, so 52 new listings since January 1st, all of Orange County. That's
52?
not a lot.
No, that's nothing. I mean,
That's nothing.
there's more cities there in Orange County than 52.
Mm-hmm.
I know. I looked as you and I were chatting. Anaheim Hills 92807 has 20 single family homes.
That's nothing.
20.
That's nothing.
There are 3 condos.
Yeah. Well, I've told you too. Since January 1st, there's 88 new condo listings.
Since January 1st.
Mhm.
So
We
there's
get condo
more new
townhomes.
condos than there are
Correct. Then
single
home.
family.
Mhm.
92808 Anaheim Hills also. There are 6 houses for sale, 6 single family
Mhm.
homes, and 5 condos.
There's just
Nothing out there.
I think probably the people with the condos and townhomes are probably thinking, "Oh, cool, let's sell and get a single family." Well, good luck on that.
Yeah, that's not gonna
Not going to happen.
not gonna turn out too well for you.
No, it's not.
So, do you ever? I'm gonna ask this tongue in cheek. Do you ever get people that'll say to you, "Well, I'm gonna wait for the prices to come down"?
I have 3 buyers right now that are saying this to me. And the prices are going up. We talked earlier when I got here how I had that client who had an offer on a condo due to family emergency. They backed out and now they want to buy again. And that condo's gone up 30,000 since last summer.
So what's the price point on that?
The price point, well, we went in and we were getting accepted at 515 and now the condo they just lost out to went 569.
So that's about a 6%
Mhm.
increase.
Which is crazy because it's in LA off of La Cienega.
Well,
It-
I
But it's
just
in the fives.
I know we've got listeners in Los Angeles,
Sorry.
but me too. I
I'm
agree.
sorry.
But my car sputters at the county line. We're going to Paso Robles this weekend, and we go around Los Angeles to get there. I mean, I'm not a fan of Los Angeles. I'm not going to put you on the spot.
No, I'm not.
Joelie.
No, I live in
But-
Orange County. No, I love Orange County.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
we got the orange curtain right there.
Exactly. But I do sell homes in LA County. I have a listing on Long Beach. I just prefer Orange County.
Sure, and everybody has their preferences.
Yeah.
Right, and I'll lend in Los Angeles, and
Mhm.
and I'm sure you'll sell houses in Los Angeles.
Of course, I'll sell homes.
Right?
Yeah.
And that's just the way the market works.
Mhm.
But the question then, and I don't know if you use this
Mm-hmm.
question, it's my question, is okay, so you think property values are going to drop.
Mm.
What will be the catalyst for them to drop
Well-
when there's nothing available?
Well, I don't understand where they're thinking because I have the one. I'm waiting for a deal. There is not going to be a deal.
Right.
You get in
The
now.
deal is you get to own the house.
Exactly. Instead, you're throwing away money on rent each month. And they've been renting for, I want to say his wife said 20 years and she's mad. She wants to buy. He's on the fence because he wants a deal. It's just,
I don't have it
going
in
well.
front of me, but let's just have some fun, Joelie.
okay.
What city is that in? Are they looking to shop in? Are they
They're
renting in?
Long Beach
They're in Long
Mhm.
Beach. Okay. So Long Beach,
and they have a home that they're renting.
California.
Mhm.
So we've got a real estate report card for Long Beach, California. It's takes a little bit for it to generate the report card. But in 20 years, my guess is that property is, well, the 10-year appreciation is 7.61 a year. So it's 7.61 a year. That means for 20 years, if they had bought a $500,000 house, that's worth $2 million today,
Correct.
right? Because the 7.61
Right.
means you're going to double
Mhm.
every 10 years.
Mhm.
So 20 years, you're going to double once 500 to $1 million,
Right.
double again $1 million to $2 million. So they've lost out on $1.5 million.
They have. And they're, paying someone else's mortgage. It's crazy. And I
The landlord's probably very happy
very happy, I'm sure.
because they've paid off that mortgage and their property's worth $2 million.
Yeah.
Right? Think about that concept. So when you think that you're waiting for property values to come down,
Mhm.
and you look and you say, okay, what's going to be the catalyst for them to come down? What's going to drive property values down? And let's take a look real
Mhm.
quick if I can get it to pop up here for Long Beach, California, and see if we can get an idea of so Long Beach, and it just puts the whole city in there. It doesn't give me breakdown. It says 125 houses for sale for Long Beach.
And Long Beach is big.
That's a big city,
Yes.
right? And you've got 134 condos.
Okay.
So what's going to be the catalyst? Now, if I was a homeowner in Long Beach, and I am not,
Mhm.
I'd probably be wanting to put my house out at a higher price.
Mhm.
Right? It used to be that one of the big online companies, and I won't mention their name because their valuation sucks, Zillow, but they used to have a service that says "Make Me Move,"
Mhm.
right? So if you've got a $2 million house and there's no inventory and you put it up at 2.5, there may be somebody that wants that property.
I have clients right now that I have their house listed in Long Beach, and they were thinking the same way. It really hasn't worked out in their favor. So, it's hard. Buyers still
But do
think
those people really want to move, or are they just
do.
saying,
They want to move to Orange County.
can't say I blame them.
There you go.
But the bottom line is some of those folks are saying, something, if I get a crazy price, which I did this,
Right.
when we come back, I want to tell you about a crazy price. And it's something that I did many, many years ago, found out that I made a mistake, but I did it, and I want you to learn from it. You can reach me anytime you're listening to Ron Siegel Radio, discussing your real estate, current events, and the financial markets. When we come back, crazy price resale. I'll tell you, story time with Ron. Reach me anytime, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or ronsiegelradio.com, facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio. And if you missed any part of our broadcast, Ron Siegel 1 on YouTube. Ron Siegel, the numeral 1 on YouTube. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
Ron Siegel Radio. Your home and mortgage connection.
Is your budget getting blown up with high prices of gas and increased costs for other household needs? This is Ron Siegel, host of the daily Home and Finance radio program. Did you know if you have a low interest rate mortgage along with auto debt, credit card debt, or student loans, your family could potentially save $500 or more per month by restructuring these debts? If you'd like a free Borrow Smart analysis with our team, let's book an appointment to see how we might be able to relieve some stress. Schedule an appointment at rsrbsa.com. That's rsrbsa.com for your free Borrow Smart analysis. rsrbsa.com.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. Once again, I speak too much, and we're going to skip our Your Credit Matters segment, but tomorrow, it's really going to be Your Credit Matters because Sarah Perkins is joining us, and we're going to be talking about credit for the entire broadcast with Sarah. She is a credit guru, and we'll talk about that. We'll see if we can get in how a New Year's spending fast can help you get back on track financially. Story time with Ron Siegel Radio. So, give or take sometime in the range of probably 1987, 1988. I know some of you were not alive then. But 1987, 1988, real estate was very, very hot back then. Prices or interest rates had come down from when I bought my first house in the 18% range. And rates were all the way down to probably about 12, give or take, something like that. But when certain life events happen, you got to buy and you got to sell. So my life event back then was I got married. And I had bought a house right out of college with a fraternity brother. And we did well. Those of you that know the Orange County area, we were right below Orange County Mining Company. We were right out of college, so you could actually go to the mining company, drink as much as you want to, roll down the hill, and you'd get right into our condo. No problem. No drinking and driving. Didn't have to do that. Especially on that road that goes up to Orange County Mining Company. You don't want to do that. So we decide we sell the condo. We make some good money. The fraternity brother and I split our ways. We go, and my wife and I just got married in 87. Yes, it's a long time ago. I'm into a life sentence here. So we went and we buy a condo. And those of you that are near Anaheim Hills, it's right below or right by Canyon High School. And properties were selling really, really quick back then. So what did I do? I decided, what the heck? I'm going to put a for sale by owner sign in the window and raise the price $40,000 from what we paid for it. And if somebody bought it, fine. If they didn't buy it, that's fine too. Okay, mistake number one is I didn't use a real estate agent. Mistake number two, I didn't talk to a financial planner or my accountant. So benefit one was the house sold immediately. We were only in that house for about 2 months. Guess what happens when you own a house for 2 months and you make a bunch of money? It's called ordinary income. Well, I didn't know that, and I didn't talk to our accountant at the time. So I got to pay a bunch of taxes before we moved into the new house. Just throw that out there for you. So what did I learn? Use a real estate agent, because most of them, if they're good, they would have said, hey, Ron, dummy, you're going to pay a bunch of taxes. Do you really want to do that? And number two, use a tax professional. I'll give you another story there real quick, because I want to talk to Joelie about this. Because what it really gets to is, so I had just graduated from Chapman College. It wasn't even a university. And I had a degree in accounting, marketing, and management. I'm a smart guy. I know everything. Don't most guys in their mid-20s know everything? In our 30s, we realize how stupid we are. But in the 20s, we think we know everything. And I'm doing my own taxes then, too. So, pretty dumb, huh? Look at Joelie over here going, you nuts, guy? Okay, so I'm sitting around the table with my parents' tax planner, and he said, did you take this deduction? And I said, no. And he said, did you take this deduction? And I said, no. And he said, did you take this deduction? And I said, no, really feeling like an idiot now. And back then he said, okay, those three would have saved you $800. My fee's $175. Talk about a dummy, right? So now let's stop talking about the dummy here, because in the last 40 years, I have learned things. And I'll tell you this, if you think education's expensive, try ignorance. Just throw that out there for you. So Joelie, do you think there's people out there that will just put a dumb price on their house and get it? Because there's nothing available.
I see people do it. I think it just depends on the area.
Okay.
It really depends on the area. Say good school districts.
Okay.
I feel that, take for instance, Cyprus. I live in Cyprus. It has Oxford Academy, one of the top schools in the nation. I kind of feel I look at homes there and they're going for a crazy price because the school district.
Now, are they going for a crazy price as a professional, or are they going as a crazy price as somebody that lives there? And the reason I ask the difference there is my wife makes comments all the time that house isn't worth $1 million. And I say, you know something? If it was 30 years ago, it wouldn't have been worth $1 million. But in today's market, if you're in Anaheim Hills and there's 4 walls, it's worth $1 million.
I feel a home is worth whatever someone's going to pay for it, really.
Yeah.
So
what are your thoughts? Do you, if I want to get a crazy price, do I go out low and let it bid up, or do I just go out with a crazy price and say, you know something, I really don't care about moving?
There's a lot of agents that will sit there and list it really low. So people do get excited, but it prices some of them out, because a lot of buyers sit and look in their price range. Like, say, just for instance, 800,000, but knowing the agent knows that they want to get, say, 1 or 1.1. Those people probably are only approved for 800, 850. So it works for a lot of people. I like to list it for what I feel it's gonna go for. And if you get multiple offers, then you can kind of, bid it up. That's how I do it. There's no like science really right now. I think
Everybody
just
has their own
depends.
way of
Mhm.
doing the things,
Yeah.
and like I've said many times on the broadcast
Mhm.
that, I look at it and say, something, list it at 5% below market value. It's not a huge amount,
And then you get a lot of activity.
but you're going to get a lot of activity,
Exactly,
and people are going to
exactly.
see it.
Yeah.
And that's just my opinion on it. And you know what they say about opinions, right? So the bottom line there is what's going to work, what's going to get you the most activity, and what's going to, the most important part of the whole thing is what are you trying to achieve? And I think that's something that you as a real estate professional are probably asking everybody.
I do. I ask my sellers, like, do you really want to sell? Like,
what's your time horizon?
Are you just testing it to see? Or do you really want to sell? We have, even though there's low inventory, buyers are still they're being cautious, and of course, buyers want a deal, sellers want more money.
Everybody wants their side of the table.
Exactly. And then of course, someone, when the sellers go to buy, they're going to act just like the buyers did.
Sure.
So I go, there you go.
Now I'm looking right now. This is when numbers can really be deceiving. So Cypress, California, you just mentioned.
Yes,
Cypress.
that's where I live, Cypress.
Total inventory 9.
And it's crap.
Now, and think about, okay, so that's an interesting comment too. So 9 houses for sale, and the median list price, that means half are above and half are below, $1,320,000.
Yeah.
$1,320,000 in Cypress. Now, I have nothing against Cypress. I don't think it's good or bad.
It's very small.
Yeah, it's a small area, but Yorba Linda's at $1,700,000 right now is their median home price, and Anaheim Hills is 92808 is 2.2. I wouldn't believe that one just because there's a very small sample size there as well.
Right.
But $1,195,000 and 92807 with their whopping 16 houses for sale.
Again,
so Cypress it's got a higher value than Anaheim Hills.
I think it's again because of Oxford Academy, but I just pulled up listings because I do have a buyer for Cypress, and I sent them one. It was a little over 1,000 square feet, 3 bedrooms, 1 bath, and I think the start price was $899. It's going to go for more, but it's like nothing. I mean, that's
just
tiny.
Amazing.
It's tiny,
and it's very small as well. Absolutely. So you look at all these things and you say, okay, here's the market we're in, and I'm going to share this plain and simple as I can. Economics 101. It works every single time. It has for centuries. It's called supply and demand. Yeah. If there is no supply, that would be the number of homes for sale. And I reference again 9, not very many. If there's nothing for sale, prices are going to go up. If there's an abundance for sale, if we were to change that number in Cypress to 900, prices would go down.
Correct.
It's very, very simple. If you're waiting for a deal, you're not going to get one right away. Will there be another day in history when prices drop? Probably. But what will they have gone up to by then? Right? That's the whole issue. And if we look at, I don't have time to look for it, but Cypress I could run a report on Cypress that'll tell us what the history is. Orange County over the last 63 years has appreciated at about 5.35%. Is it going to do that in the next 63 years? I don't know. But the likelihood is if it's done that over the last 63, it's going to be somewhere close. Just throw that out there for you. If you want to know the valuations in your area, give me a call at 800-306-1990. I'd be happy to put you in touch with Joelie. She can tell you what the valuations are, what's going on there. If you want to know how much equity you have, that's a great place to start. And we're going to probably be sending out a report or a messaging this week saying, hey, do you want to know how much equity you have in your house? Because then you can make an informed decision. Do you want to buy? Do you want to sell it? Do you want to reinvest? Do you want to become an investor? All of those things are options, but you don't have options if you don't have knowledge. And as always, one of the things I ask is set that first radio preset button to come back here and join Ron Siegel Radio, where we only speak about items affecting your house and your bank account. Thanks to all of our sponsors. A big thanks to Josh and Sean who are engineering us today. And of course, a special thanks to you for spending a little bit of your day with us. That's all for Ron Siegel Radio. Again, if you have any questions or to meet any of our guests, call me anytime, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or ronsiegelradio.com. And remember, make a lot of money so you help a lot of people and have a lot of fun. Have a great day. We'll talk to you next time on Ron Siegel Radio.